right, Block Party Quilt Sampler 2023. We call it that because we finished it up in 2023. So welcome to our new beginning here in September, and I'm going to show you the new block, how to put it together. That's the Cape Cod. This is the Merry Christmas, and this is the Autumn Leaves. Okay, if you're new to Block Party, then this is what your kits will look like each month. You'll have the fabrics, everything in here you need to make one block, not any too much extra, so sometimes you'll have to be really careful on how you cut them out. Normally they'll be put in here in the order in which they're listed and for cutting on the pattern instructions. So here we have the background first, the medium, the dark, and the accent. Won't always be in that order, but it will always be in the order in which it's listed over here for cutting. So if you can't remember what piece goes where, that will be a good guide as long as you haven't taken it out yet and mixed it all up. We have pictures of all these blocks under Block Party on the website, and look for Quilt Sampler Block of the Month. Now, one thing I wanted to point out to you on the cutting is the medium fabric. We gave you a 12 by 7 inch piece. Okay, that's plenty of fabric, but if you go ahead and start cutting, you need 4 3-inch cuts along here. Okay, if your fabric was just a smidgen too short, or if you square your fabric up first, you're not going to get 4 of them. We didn't intend to cut it so close, but what I meant was for it to be cut this way. So if you cut 3 inches here, I'm going to square this up first. All right, clean that edge up. I'm going to cut 3 inches across here because it calls for 4 3-inch squares. So we'll get our strip out of there. There. I'm going to cut this up. Okay, I'm going to get a 3-inch out of there. Three inches and 3 inches. Okay, I had plenty of fabric to get that out of there. Then it calls for 4 2.5-inch squares. So I'm going to cut those out of here. And here I got this much fabric left, and I will get my 2.5-inch squares out of here. Okay. Okay, so there is plenty of fabric. Now, if you have already cut it out, and you cut it going the length of the 12-inch length of there, and you don't get all 4 of them out of there, you'll only get 3, and then you will have to do another one over here. In that case, you might not get all 4 of the 2.5-inch squares out of there. You might only get 3 of them, and then you will have only skinny pieces left. You can't get your 4th one out. So please cut it the way I instructed. But if you do cut it this way and you can't get that out of there, take some of your scraps. Look what I did here. I took 2 of my little scrap pieces and pieced them together, and then I can get my little 2.5-inch square out of there. And I'm going to place my cutting so that my seam line doesn't come too close to a cut edge, or that would make the seam lines too close together. So I'm going to do that, trim that up, and there I have my 4 2.5-inch squares, even though one of them is pieced together. Every month you will not always have room in your fabric to patch it up like that if you make a mistake, but many times you will, and it might keep you from having to make a trip back into the shop to get more fabric, saving you time if you can just get it done. Another tip I want to give you is on your pattern here, I like to write down the color of the fabric for each one. The background is light, the medium is green, the dark is red, and the accent is plaid. That'll help give me a reference to refer to, because it would be easy to get mixed up in some of these different colors as you go along. And then I also like to highlight and then write in here where it calls for a dark, I put red, just to keep a good frame of reference for me on that one. So now we're going to start putting some of these units together. To make the flying geese, we're going to use the fast flying geese method. So to do that, you'll have your dark square and your two background squares that you've drawn a line on, and we're going to sew them on with a 1/4 inch seam, or a scant 1/4 inch. Okay, so that was my little sample. I'm going to complete this using our block fabric here. So I'm going to cut right along there, and then I'm going to press these two pieces, set my seam, press it, set my seam, and press it. Then I'm going to take the two other squares, lay them right on there like so, and I'm going to sew those down. And we'll do that to both of them. I'm going to cut these right along here. And now we have our 4 flying geese units. So it says to trim geese units to 4.5 by 2.5 inches. You can use your wing clipper. If you have one of those, you know how to use that. If you have the Ultimate Flying Geese, that works very well. It happens to be my favorite. Or you can just use a regular Creative Grids ruler. Just a reminder on the Ultimate Flying Geese, this calls for a 4.5 by 2.5 inch square up. But on the ruler, it would be 4 by 2 or 2 by 4. Okay, it doesn't say 2.5 by 4.5 on here. This gives the finished measurement, which is the measurement that it will be when it's in your block, all sewed up. But you will trim it to 2.5 by 4.5. If you follow the 2 by 4 lines on here, put that on there like that, you will get your 2.5 by 4.5 inch cut piece. Now what that does is right here, 2.5 comes right here along the seam line. That dotted line goes right along the seam line. The little D at the corner up here is right at the corner of the block. I'm going to trim this off. Turn this around. This is the easy part, but I want to double check to make sure that my lines are right on the seam lines and that they come right to where the seams meet, the corners of it. So they come right to the corner. You don't have the seam line going up a little or down a little. It's right at the corner. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time with a better contrast in fabrics here so that you can see that. But look for the 2 by 4 line with the D at the top. The lines are right there on the seam line. Trim these off. Turn it around, turn my ruler around. lay the 2x4 rectangle shape here right on the unit. The seam lines of the on the ruler go right to the seam line of the block. And there you go. Comes out very nicely at the corners. Now, if you don't have that and you want to use a regular ruler, you can use something like this because it is 2.5. You wouldn't be able to use it for a bigger block, but you could use that, or you could use your 5.5, 6.5 inch square. And I'm going to put that on here. And I want my 4.5 inch measurement to come out right where the seam, the pink and the white meet, right here at the seam. That line comes right there. It's not off a little up here or down there. It's right there, over here, and then over here. I have to move that up so that my 4.5 by 2.5 inch intersection meets right there at the seam. Okay, and that's pretty well squared up. I have plenty to trim on the side and top. Trim that off. I'm going to turn it around, and then this is easy because you just put it on here where it's 4.5 inch this way, 2.5 inch this way. I like the Creative Grids ruler because you can really easily see that. It has that extra 1/2 inch around here, and it marks the half. If the numbers are upside down, then that means you don't use those measurements. You use the measurements that look right side up to you if you're right-handed. We do have a few left-handed rulers. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this. I'm making sure that my seam comes right there, the corners of the ruler, and I trim it up that way. Okay, so get all your fine geese cut, and then we'll move on to step 2. Okay, for step 2, you're going to choose the dark and the accent squares. So if you've labeled these well up here, it shouldn't be too confusing. But for this particular block, the dark is the red, the accent is the plaid. I'm going to show you how to trim that up using a scrap here. But I drew a line there. I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on each side of the line. Okay, so to 1/4 inch, I'm going to cut that in half. And I'm going to press these, and it says here, press toward the accent triangle. On my scraps here, it doesn't much matter. Now we're going to square these up. So you can take your regular ruler, 5.5 inch. If you have anything bigger than a 2.5 inch, that'll work. You could even use a long ruler like this to square them up. So I need it to be 2.5 inches. So I'm going to use my 1/2 inch extended measurement on this ruler. And I can see where this says 2.5 inches. And my ruler is completely on the block unit here. Doesn't go off the edge. So I'm going to trim those 2 edges. Turn it around. And my 2.5, oops, there we go, 2.5 inch square. It's right there on there. The line, diagonal line is right there on the seam line. And I have a perfect 2.5 inch square as long as my blade is sharp. Okay, if you wanted to use something like this, it could work the same way. I have 1/2 inch here. It's not labeled quite the same. It does say 2.5 over there. It's kind of awkward because I have all that extra ruler sticking out, but if that's what you have available, that will work too. Okay, the seam line goes right to the corner. It's exactly 2.5 inches. Okay, so you started out with 4 dark squares, 4 accent squares. That ends up making 8 half square triangles. Okay, for this section here, you use 4 of them to make the center pinwheel. And to make that pinwheel, you must make it exactly as shown here. And I have this an image of this on the website to remind you what the dark is in case you can't tell the difference between dark and accent on your black and white copies. But this is going to go together like this. Okay, it's not going to go like that. Okay, it's going to go like this. Whoops, there we go. So you'll sew these two together, these two, and then sew those two units together. And that is what your center pinwheel will look like. Put your other 4 aside for now. Okay, for step 3, we're going to repeat that whole process, making the half square triangles using the white background, in this case it's white, and the green medium. And you're going to make, again, 8 half square triangles. And then trim them up to 2.5 inches. Then you're going to take them and make corner units. So one way to help me remember putting these together is to just put together, make a little butterfly, and then we'll put that in there. And I need my white 2.5 inch squares. So I'm going to sew these two together and these two together, and I'll have 1 corner unit. Okay, now we're going to move down to step 4, in which you use these other 4 half square triangles that are left over from that first bunch we made, and we're going to put that together with this one just like this. Okay, the dark up here, the accent here, and then the dark square right there. You'll make 4 units that look like that. Then you'll take your flying geese unit and put it together like this. And so that is 1 unit. Then you have the corner units as the other one. Let's see, the corner unit, you made that. You'll make 4 of those, you make 4 of these, and then you have your little pinwheel that goes in the center. Okay, so now we're going to put the entire block together, starting out with my center pinwheel here. And I'm going to lay these out. These are my corner units. And then these are the center ones that go in here. This is the one where you made with the flying geese attached to this unit here. So that looks like that. 2 more and 2 more. So I'm going to sew these 3 together, these 3 together, and then these 3 here. As you go along, press seams, press in the directions it says to on the pattern, or if it doesn't say, then it probably doesn't matter. And or just do whatever, press it the way you think it should be. Now you can see the center pinwheel is not the same pinwheel anymore. When it comes together, it's going to form a larger pinwheel. But this is only going to happen if you place all of your pieces in the correct position. If you make this center pinwheel exactly as shown here, and then these turn this way, not having it turned around the other way or something, and it will come together as a larger center pinwheel. When this is all quilted, you'll never notice those seams in there. Another thing I want to point out is on this one here, again, when it's all done, finished, quilted, you'll never notice that seam line that I put in that block to patch it up. Another thing too is on this one, you have some directional fabrics with the trees and the background. Don't pay any attention to them. It really doesn't matter. You're looking at the color. You're not looking at when you look at this block, you're not looking at the little trees or what it says or anything. You're just looking at the color. You're looking at the green, you're looking at the white and red. For this one, direction doesn't matter. And turned out beautiful, and then this one also. So it kind of gives it a different effect when you put that all together. Okay, that's it for this month's block, and if you have any questions, let us know. We'll have another one for you next month. Can't wait to do it.